It's Feel Good Friday, baby. Let me get one of them Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Lowdown, guys. I'm your host, Dob Low. Thank God we're back. I know I did this morning. I sent up a couple of thank yous to the big man. Thank God we're back, baby. Feels good this morning. I feel vindicated this morning. I feel convicted this morning. I feel ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Line me up, put me on the start line, and let me go. Man. Guys, I think what I'm going to do this morning is I want to just have a real show. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to talk to you for 10 minutes. I want to walk you through a day in my life right now because I swear it seems so dramatic to me. And I try so hard to make it seem undramatic, to make it seem not dramatic. But I think it just is dramatic. Yesterday was a freaking day, man. It was a roller coaster. So I thought, you know what? Part of the reason I have this show is because I'm so sick and tired of Hollywood productions, $1 million budget productions, people who make a gajillion dollars trying to sympathize with me like they have any idea what my life is like because 30 years ago they went through a rough spot. I'm tired of the Navy SEAL story too. I'm not going to lie to you. I think a lot of veterans, I've talked to so many veterans since I started this show, and I think they kind of are too. There's a spot for that. It's not that I dislike that being out there, but I've heard that story so many times right now. It's just, I wanted to put something out there that was real. You know, I do this with my iPhone in the kitchen. Not every day is a great day for me, right? I try my very best to make them good. And it has gotten so much easier since I fixed my mindset. And the mindset's what I'm trying to pass down to you guys. But not every day is easy and great. Yesterday turned out to be a great day. But let me walk you through it. Okay? Oh, and before we start, if you ever need to get away and drink a cold beer for 1 second, and you need a good excuse, telling your wife you're stuck in an escape room is pretty much a foolproof method. If you tell her the escape room is really hard and you can't get out, I mean, hey, you just bought yourself 30 minutes right there. You can drink 2 cold snacks, chill out, come back home. I mean, hey, and sometimes the bar feel like that, right? Feel like an escape room. You can't get out of there. If you like me, I can't say no. If I get up there, it takes the power of God to get me out of there. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Yesterday, guys, I woke up, I did the show, and I knew immediately I had a big day in front of me, right? My wife woke up, she went over to my sister's house. She got some of her shots that she needed done. Let my sister do them because she was making some TikTok videos and letting different family members give her shots different days. And she was late, by the way. So that stressed me out, right? She was late. So I rode on up to Somerset without her. She caught a ride to me so we could get to our baby doctor appointment. But I had to go to a physical therapy appointment first, and it was for my VA disability claim. And so, you know, you never know how those things are going to go. The first time I met the VA over it, the main woman from Louisville called me to let me know that the doctor I was going to be meeting with, her whole job was to discredit me. I'm not exaggerating on that. That was what I was told verbatim, and when I had the appointment, it was blatantly clear that was true. Me and that woman played mental chess and went to war with each other for about 45 minutes. Really, that happened. And so when I have an appointment like this, you know, I'm kind of wound up because I don't know what I'm walking into. Is this another mental chess match, or is this just, hey, how you doing, that kind of a thing? So I show up and I meet the therapist, and he sits me down. He's like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. He was like, I spent all night last night looking at your chart, and I really genuinely expected you were gonna come in here in like a power chair or with a walker or some kind of assistance. And I'm like, no, brother, I'm just out here trying to do the dang thing. Anyways, we ended that with him telling me, that he was going to use my situation as ammunition against his other clients that want to be petty. So that was cool. And he basically told me, he said, man, I wouldn't even know how to start working on you if you ever wanted to come back for therapy, which I don't, guys. Therapy's not going to, at this point, fix any of my problems, and I don't have the energy for more doctor's appointments. So that's kind of out of my question right now. Maybe, if everything goes good for a couple of years and I think there's a need, but right now there's not. And, but, he had noticed in my scans, I talked to you guys one time about my bones had grown. He noticed in my scans they had grown. And so he's asking me, he's like, how's the hip and knee and everything? And I told him, I said, buddy, that knee goes out more than I do. That knee goes out and gets a beer while we're at work. And it does, all my bones grew, let's say, 1/16 of an inch. I don't know in medical terms exactly how much they grew, but from my hip to my toes on the left side, everything grew. The joints don't grow with that, and there's no room for the bones to grow like that. So I'm just prematurely wearing out all my joints. I feel like an old man. I tell people all the time I feel like I'm 80 and I don't think they know what I mean. I don't mean sick. I mean like my body is very strange. Anyways, so we get through that. We go to a baby doctor appointment. The doctor had like an emergency surgery, so we had to wait for about 2 hours. But he came, we got everything done. My wife had a plethora of eggs, which was super exciting and good news. And, so I'm trying to get as much information out of that as I can. I'm asking questions. I don't care if they're dumb or not. Some are good, some are not, but I need to ask them. And he tells us, Saturday is the day. We're going to bring you up here super early. We're going to do this thing. And so IVF is here for us. Man, that's been a long time in the making, guys. 5 or 6 years. Throwing a lot of time and energy and money, and my wife has shed a lot of tears, and in return, I probably shed a tear or two as well. And so, that's all before noon for me. So I get back in the car, and we go, and before I tell you the next part, we went to Lee's Chicken, man, because I miss freaking fried chicken so bad. I don't understand how I live in this little podunk town and we ain't got one place to get fried chicken. There ain't one space in this whole little country town you can get some country cooking. That don't make a darn bit of sense to me. Blows my mind. Y'all lucky I ain't got a bunch of money. I'd have fried chicken joints all over this town. Seriously, though. So we went to Lee's Chicken. I got the best fried chicken I ever eaten my whole daggone life. And I'm not exaggerating. It was so good. I went back there and talked to the cook. I said, buddy, did you make that chicken? He said, yeah. I said, dude, big old black dude. I mean, he was jacked. I said, dude, that's the best fried chicken I ever ate my whole daggone life, boy. I said, come here, dab him up a little bit, because that was, and you could tell it made his day, man. It really did. And after that, everybody in the store was cutting up with me, and we had a good time. But, listen, I don't care what you do. If you do good at it, I'm going to give you a little pat on the back. I don't care what setting we're in either. And so after that, we get in the car, and we're coming home. And this is what I want to be real about. I don't know, man. I got a lot on my plate. I got too many things on my plate to eat. And I guess, I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's an anxiety attack. I think the new generation calls that crashing out. Maybe I crashed out. But I had too much on my mind. I've had it on my mind since we started the IVF process, and I'm starting radiation and still trying to figure out how to not let cancer be my life. And man, it's a lot to mentally juggle. So I'm pretty sure I had an anxiety attack on my wife. I don't know. I'm not going to go see somebody clinically over it, but I have so many fears and concerns, and it's not with her being able to raise children. And it's really, if I can be 100% honest, what it is it's just, I'm very worried about her. It's like, if something happens to me, I have no doubt she can raise those kids, but I have doubts that she can take care of herself. And I know that she knows, as much as I do, and she can, in layman's terms, take care of herself. But I just need to know, if a shingle flies off the roof, she doesn't know how to get up there and tar that back down, or if the heat and air messes up, or she needs to change a tire and she's got the babies in the car, something like that. And, I'm not given the same, I know nobody's promised tomorrow, but I really am not. I'm looking through a very different scope of time than everyone else. And so here we are in the most joyous adventure me and her have had together right now in this IVF process and having babies. It genuinely is the most joy I've ever felt. I worked my whole life to give this woman everything she wanted because I wanted to do that, but I can never give her the one thing she wanted the most, and that was children. And so, man, the blessing I feel. I got to be careful just not to even get too wound up, or I'll shed some tears right now, but to give her the one thing she wants the most, man, that's huge for me, right? Because it means everything to me. I want to spoil this woman in every meaning of the word. And so I'm in this super joyous moment, and I'm just overridden with the what ifs, the possibilities. I can't slow my mind down. I'm in a car. I can't get away from her. And so I crash out. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. Nothing like that. But I just wanted to be real. I had a very honest conversation with her, and I think it came as a shock to her because we were in such a joyous moment. And like looking back in hindsight, maybe I should have waited till today. Or maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut, but I couldn't, right? It just started piling out, as it does with me. The words just started flying out. And so, we had that right there. We came home, and I knew for me, I needed to get to work. I fall apart with idle hands. Too much time is the worst thing you can give me. And so that's one of the things that was really challenging about this winter, was the fact that I had an unlimited amount of free time to think and not think about all the greatest things in the world. I had a lot of time to think. So staying locked in mentally is huge. So guys, when I got home, I went and worked on my porch, and I drank about 3 PBRs out of a long neck bottle. And I played some Jimmy Buffett on my guitar when it was over. And you know what? It fixed most of my ailments. Me and my wife, we communicated. We sat down with each other. We did that trigger shot at 8 o'clock, so it didn't matter if she was upset at me for crashing out. It didn't matter if I crashed out at 8 o'clock. It's go time. So we did our trigger shot. She's very emotional about that. And I tried to let go, an old cliche, let go and let God, and just relax, man. I have a hard time relaxing. All of you that know me know that. I can't rest. My body doesn't allow it. And I'm trying very hard to get better at it. But, I worked a little bit on my porch. I drank 3 PBRs, and I played some Jimmy Buffett on my guitar. I called one of my very best friends in this life yesterday while I played Jimmy Buffett. I just cold call people, man. I'll cold call people and play you a song any day of the week. I cold called him. He answered the phone. I knew he would. I said, man, you like Jimmy Buffett? Yeah, I love Jimmy Buffett. And I said, let me hit you with a little something. So I played him some Buffett, and he liked it. I hope it made his day better. It made my day better just having some companionship, you know. And yeah, you know, life was okay. I went to sleep, and I slept in on purpose. The show's late on purpose. It wasn't that I just missed an alarm. And, you know, I feel better. But I had to be honest with my wife. I have to be honest with my physical therapist. I have to be honest with the baby doctor. I got all these things in front of me, and the only thing that's really helping me out on all that is honesty. And I do not mince words anymore. I'm very tired of that. I'm very tired of the fake front of everything that goes on. And so that's what today's episode is, man. That's my real life. That's one day in my life. The last thing I want to talk about is we had this baby doctor appointment. We've done all this. I need you all to know, before I ever started this, I paid out of my own pocket to have my genetic testing done to make sure I can't pass any of my bad genes on, you know, as far as sickness goes. And I can't. My genetics were all good, which is really weird because my cancer is a genetic cancer. That was one of the reasons the Army ended up having to pay for all of this, and the VA had to pay for it because they were very aware this was caused by a very extreme environmental factor. Because if it's not genetic, it has to be a very, very far out there kind of chemical reaction in the environment to cause something like this. So I did my genetic testing. It was good. Everything is good. And I've got some peace of mind. That's one day, guys. I hope that wasn't too much. I hope it was honest. I hope you appreciate the honesty. And if you don't, come back on Monday and we'll go back to the regular format of the show. I promise. Guys, I love you. It's Feel Good Friday. Go feel good. Communicate with you people you love. Reach out to people. FaceTime somebody. Cold call somebody. Who gives a turkey? That's so weird. Oh my God, they cold called me. Get over it, dude. If I care about you enough to call you, you should be complimented. Have fun. Laugh. And if you're going to crash out and recover. Guys, song of the day today is Shanty by Jonathan Edwards. I love you. Go get after it and have a good weekend. Be safe.